morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of our foundation, I would like to express my gratitude that you have found the time to meet us here today. As you know very well, this conference summarizes the first stage or a certain stage of our project aimed at monitoring sustainable public procurement in Poland. I am very glad that we have this opportunity to meet at this excellent location, which is very important from the point of view of social policy in Poland. I'm glad that we have here representatives and experts from 11 countries representing all stakeholders, NGOs, companies, trade unions, and others. So I think such a composition is perfect for our conference summarizing this project. You might be asking yourself the question why our foundation has decided to work on the subject of sustainable public procurement. Is this CSR? Well, we expect that major Polish companies will pay attention to the requirements of the society and to the environment. And we also expect that the same logic is applied by Polish public administration. We believe that public administration bodies bear a special responsibility. By their procurement decisions, they can influence the labor market in Poland, they can influence the environment, and they can do it in a positive way or in a negative way. And I'm sure we are all convinced that this idea brings us together and this belief that we can create positive change through sustainable public procurement. We know, because it is based on our monitoring activities, that some of you have already taken concrete steps and that you have seen some concrete effects. We've been trying to monitor your activities as well. Some of the most successful initiatives will be presented here today. I'd like to say that the subject of sustainable public procurement, while it seems to be a niche subject, still its importance keeps growing, is our belief. This is what we see. We've organized a number of roundtable meetings, advocacy meetings, other events, which gathered hundreds of participants, and you will have the chance to see some more details in just a minute when we present the achievements of our project. So, as I have said, we see a growing interest and an improving atmosphere around sustainable public procurement. A lot remains to be done, but we've seen a lot of positive developments. When we started our activities in 2014, we started with Warsaw, Katowice, Kraków, and Wrocław. And back then, sometimes when we sent a letter informing a public administration body that they will be monitored, they would send the letters back. And we only wanted to gather information based on publicly available sources. Today the situation has changed. Monitoring public procurement has become quite popular in Poland, and lowest price as the only criterion in public procurement is no longer considered to be acceptable or optimal. Of course, I'm only talking about the lowest price criterion in the narrowest sense of the word. So in these last 2 years, we have been able to gain trust of the employers of public administration bodies, as is evidenced by the presence of some of you in this room. Monitoring sustainable public procurement has become part or subject of activities of other organizations, such as Solidarność or Ferdinand Lassalle Social Thought Foundation or the Kupuj Odpowiedzialnie Foundation. Interest in public procurement on the part of NGOs confirms our belief that we need dialogue. We need to remain in dialogue with public administration, with the buyers, with the contractors. We need to remain in dialogue with other organizations. Social and environmental clauses cannot be implemented if we fail to examine very carefully the environment, the social environment. In the duration of our project, as you know, we've seen some legislative changes on the EU level. A new directive has been adopted, which makes it easier to go away from the lowest price criterion in a narrow sense, and instead gives more room to other criteria, such as environmental criteria. So I think we are moving on to a new stage on which sustainable public procurement can be used as a tool of protecting the environment, improving the situation of people who are marginalized or excluded, and it can support refugees, etc., depending on the needs. So these changes on the EU level stimulate some changes on the national level as well. We are now in the process of another amendment of the Polish public procurement law. It is a simple consequence of the need to adapt our legislation to EU legislation, and I believe it is a great chance for us to implement innovative solutions in Poland. It is a great chance for local governments, universities, ministries, and others. We hope that environmental subjects and concerns, care for the climate, are no longer considered something exotic. We don't want to see public buyers claim that they have no influence on labor conditions in Asia or Africa or other countries that are far away from us. As you will see during this conference, these countries, while they might be far away in terms of geography, they are quite close to us in terms of economy. So these are not just some exotic ideas, but as you will see in the second part of the conference, we are talking about very concrete, specific initiatives taken by organizations which like to become leaders of sustainable public procurement. These initiatives are very important, and there is room in these initiatives for Polish public buyers. So I would like to encourage organizations that look ahead when they think about public procurement. I'd like to encourage you to join organizations such as Electronics Watch, and organizations which we are going to promote and introduce today. Of course, it is easier said than done. We realize that legislation with regard to public procurement is quite difficult, and we know that it is a challenge for you. That's why we are here for you. We would like to support you with our knowledge and experience. As you know, we've been preparing reports. We've prepared some models of social clauses. We have a website, and this website there is a database in which you can find some inspiration. We started organizing trainings for public buyers. We published best practices, which we have been able to identify in the duration of our project. We also write about the worst practices we have seen. Well, this is our role as well. But we believe that all that serves a bigger purpose, which is a wider application of sustainable public procurement practices. I'm pleased to inform you that this is not the end of our adventure with monitoring sustainable public procurement, because we have been able to obtain funds from the Ministry of Family, Labour and Social Policy as part of the Citizen Initiatives program, and we will be monitoring sustainable public procurement for the next 2 years at least. At the end, I would like to express my hope that this conference will help you to prepare better sustainable public procurement. And it is also my obligation to thank all those who have supported us in the organization of this the project. So the Warsaw office of the Friedrich Ebert Foundation, I'm very grateful to its director, Daniel Reinhardt, and Mr. Krzysztof Gecka. I'd like to thank the Citizens for Democracy program. I'd like to thank our Norwegian partner, Ethical Trading Initiative Norway, represented by Mr. Director Bent Bandevik. And I would also like to thank my colleagues Tadeusz Joniewicz and Marta Czapnik for all their efforts and dedication and their professional approach which they have shown in the preparation of this conference and during all monitoring activities. That would be all from me. Thank you very much for your attention and I wish you a very pleasant and fruitful day. Thank you.